What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Flailing Forward podcast, where we talk to entrepreneurs who are out there doing the thing, taking the action. I'm your host, Dustin Seiler. Today, we are joined by our guest, Jared Morrison. Jared is a wholesaler, a high-level wholesaler and operator who has made the transition to assisted living, and there have been a lot of bumps and learning along the way. I'm sure we're going to get into that today. So, Jared, thank you so much for joining us today. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
First, I just want to say thank you so much for having me, Dustin. It's awesome. It's an honor to be on your show. Yeah, my journey starts back when I was a CPA. I worked in public accounting, and I got really into personal finance. And I just had this idea in my head that I wanted to retire by 40. So, ended up getting into real estate, bought some rentals, and quickly realized that if you're just buying rentals, it's going to take a long time to retire.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, longer than working as a CPA?
No, not that long. But yeah, I mean, I think we all think that, each rental when you're starting out, you're calculating the money coming in versus the mortgage, and then quickly you realize there's a lot more expenses that go into that.
Yeah.
And, after running it for a couple years and then learning about sub two and meeting pace and just realizing there's 100 ways that you can make money, and active income is actually a huge thing where you don't just have to be a realtor. I dove right in and, yeah, kind of just jumped right in with my brother. We joined sub two. We bought a property together, a duplex, and then we started wholesaling, and then didn't really like that. So I was like, wow, I'm an accountant. Like, I'm sure I'll love lending. So I joined Gator and didn't really like that either. And I was like, oh, well, I look at contracts all day. Like, I should just be in top tier. And really the goal for joining top tier TC was, I just want a way out of my W-2 to be in investing full time.
Yeah.
And funny enough, I went to Squad Up 2024 looking for additional TC clients, where I met David Moody. And yeah, 2 days later or 3 days later, we left partners, joined Owners Club together, and then went back to wholesaling.
Full circle.
which led to, funny enough, I still did some TC stuff, but then we started fix and flipping and lending. And someone, being in this community, we have so many people that are coming across deals that we just get texts all the time. And someone
Yeah.
brought us from our team, actually, an assisted living in Michigan. And when we first ran the numbers, we're like, oh my gosh, like, let's go check this out. So we hopped on a plane and flew to Michigan, and the numbers were too good to be true, just like we thought.
Yeah. How it always goes. How it always goes. That's awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
that's been quite a journey. You've done a lot in the investing world. I'm curious, how has your background as a CPA helped you out in investing? Has it played a part at all?
Oh yeah. I mean, funny enough, while we were doing due diligence for the assisted living, I was like, oh yeah, I used to audit large scale assisted living facilities.
Yeah,
So this is actually right up my alley.
that's nice.
Uh,
And so the numbers just, I'm guessing the numbers fell into your lap as far as the underwriting and stuff goes.
yeah, I would say the accounting, like, I call myself a recovering accountant because, now learning as much about myself as I have with AI and personality tests, and that just wasn't the career for me. But
Yeah.
the foundation that it gave me of how to assess risk and how to look at the numbers and what the financial statements are saying, and just like all the other experience that I've gotten in the investing world trying to find my way, I've really it really opens up the possibilities on every deal,
Hmm.
because there is a way to close in
Hmm.
every deal. You just have to be creative enough to think of, what's even possible.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. And that type of creative thinking, I would imagine, played really well in a wholesaling business where you could probably help people do deals that other wholesalers couldn't.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, well, mainly our wholesaling turned into fix and flipping. And
Uh,
that's what I would say, just jumping kind of into the lessons is that was kind of the first big lesson that we learned was you can't build three businesses at once.
mm,
Everyone talks about SOPs and having systems in place, and it's hard enough to do that for one company. Like if you're trying to, you have a two-person, three-person team, and you're trying to do that with three companies, you're not going to do it well.
hmm. Yeah.
So that was a big lesson.
Yeah. And so that was, you're talking about your wholesaling company now, which also you had wholesaling, you were doing lending for a minute, you were doing TC, and then you were doing fix and flipping. So you were kind of building all of those at the same time. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, yeah. Essentially, like we would get a wholesale deal, and then we'd be like, okay, we could make 10 to 15,000 on a wholesale fee, or we could flip it and make 50.
Hmm.
So let's flip it.
Yeah.
And then, someone would come with a great deal, and we're like, oh, we'll lend on that. So it just really became a lot going on at once. And once we bought the assisted living, we kind of made the decision, this is what we're passionate about, this is what we want to do. Let's let's tone down the rest and really niche down and
Focus in.
focus on becoming the experts in this.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. Was it a systems issue? Was it a opportunity issue? Was it a staffing issue that held you back from growing all those businesses at the same time? Or was it you personally were spread too thin?
I'd say me personally spread too thin. As
Yeah,
someone who has not grown a big company before, I mean, I'm learning every day.
sure.
So you can't work on your company if you're just in it. So
Yeah.
yeah, I would say that was the big lesson. I think it's possible if you have the money um, to hire the people, or you find the right people who are willing to work on commission. But for our situation, we just felt like we weren't making enough progress in any business because we were doing all of them.
Gotcha. So if somebody was kind of in the position you were in when you started, you would probably say choose one and focus on that for a little while. Is that, or what would your advice be?
That is actually a tough one because if we didn't do all of that, we would have never been introduced to assisted living. I would say it depends on your runway. It depends on, how much your businesses are bringing in. If you need money now, then yeah, you need to pick one thing and you need to make money in it. But if you have the opportunity to explore, eventually you're going to run into what you actually love doing. And when you find that, that's what you're going to be best at.
Oh man. I mean, that's a solid point of don't limit yourself unless you're in a situation where you need to, right? But if you have the opportunity to continue learning more and more, that's the way you're going to really find out what you're passionate about and what sticks with you and what you can't stop thinking about. That's a great point.
Yeah, and I think AI is such a cheat code, especially again with I mentioned it earlier with personality tests and kind of digging into if you can find out what business you will be passionate about, well then it'll make you know the journey so much easier. But I kind of had to bounce around to find it, but I think it could have been a lot easier if I was more looking for what I'm passionate about based on I don't know, just my experiences. Like I was really close with my grandma. I mean, that should
Mhm.
have been a big hint that I'm passionate for taking care of people.
Yeah.
But it just not until not until I have 14 residents that are in the other room that, you know, I hear and help and I there's some tough situations and like I'm happy to help and I'm really excited to be here. I brought my family with me. It's been great.
Yeah. That's awesome. Do you feel like all of the other experiences that, you know, the learnings from the wholesaling and the other businesses and things, do you feel like that all kind of prepared you to jump into this assisted living? I know it kind of led you to it by bringing you the deal and the partnership. What about the skills section of it? Did that help?
Oh, for sure. On the deal side, I mean, nothing's gonna prepare me for, free hospital visits in
Yeah.
2 days. I mean, I don't think real estate can really prepare you for that. But in terms of like, finding the bunnies, like we talk about in real estate, where
Mhm.
really understanding what the seller needs, and then again, also understanding the possibilities of how to close a deal. Like this specific deal was a very, very creative deal where if we bought it, so when you buy a business, because assisted living is a business and it's real estate.
Yeah.
And when you buy a business, you typically want to do what's called an asset sale, where you form an LLC and then you buy the assets of the company.
Hmm.
And what that does is it allows you to get rid of any liability that was there before because it's with their LLC, not your LLC.
Right.
Well, in assisted living, sometimes that can be very difficult to do because if this place, for example, opened up in like 2013 and the home was built in 1930. So since then, the home that we have would require a full sprinkler system. And
Mm.
we fully prepared to do that anyways. But before we could get relicensed, we would have to install that, which could be anywhere from 50 to 100,000.
Oof, my
Just
goodness.
so we knew there was another way. So we bought the shares of the business and then we just took over their license. So we
Mm.
didn't even have to get a new license. So that was one way it was creative.
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, but there is more with that. I mean, we ended up it came with two homes. Me and
Uh-huh.
my me and my family are actually staying in the other house on the property. It's about an acre and it was one parcel. We actually bought everything subject to the existing SBA loan, and an SBA loan is just a business loan uh, for small businesses.
Yep.
And then as soon as we bought it subject to, we actually split the lots because we knew that it was going to add value to the homes.
Mm.
And when you get a loan, for all the listeners, when you buy a home, no matter how you buy it, or when you get a loan for a home when you're buying it, no matter what loan you get, whether it's a hard money loan or a long-term loan, they're going to give you a loan based off the lower of the purchase price or the appraisal. So
Hmm.
we knew we had a deal. So we had to buy it first without getting a loan. So that way we could go cash out refi and then actually get the value out of it. So we ended up buying it for 432 subject to, and then 3 months later we cash out refi at 715.
Wow. Wow. Because you utilize some creative strategies to force I won't want to say well, appreciation basically in it to force
Yeah.
some value in there.
Yep.
Yeah. Brilliant. That's really smart. That's great. So yeah, I mean, creative strategies for the win there for sure. And it sounds like you guys did a stock purchase. Is that what you did? And so you just are the owners
Yeah.
of the LLC now, which is how you essentially are able to take subject to that SBA loan. Because I know SBAs get a little tricky, right?
Yeah. I mean, I would say it wasn't because we bought the business that we did the SBA loan, or that it allowed us. It was still like the same format where the real estate changed ownership.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, we only had a 3 month balloon. The sellers were only comfortable doing 3 months, so
Wow.
we had to move really quick. But
Yeah.
we were in talks with the bank before we even closed, letting them know our strategy. So we had everything lined up, but it still took another 2 months. You know how it goes.
Yeah, of course. Especially now, man. It seems like things are taking longer and longer and longer.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the market is definitely. throwing people off and
Yeah.
yeah,
I
making
mean,
making lenders more hesitant.
yeah, that's a lesson right there, right? Of always building a buffer for whatever deal you're doing because you never know what the market is going to do. So it's always smart and safe to include a buffer in there. Um, Interesting. Okay, so had you ever considered assisted living before this deal was brought to you?
No, I don't. I mean, I had heard of it, but I had never been like, this is what I want to do. It was, I don't know. I mean, my grandma was in a big box, and we bought a residential one, which I really believe in now.
Yeah,
But I can't say that in like there's like a big stigma with the large facilities that they're not giving as great of care.
right.
But I didn't see that with my grandma. But now that I own a residential assisted living with David, like I see the home environment, I see how much more of an impact we can have, and now I'm all for it. It's
Hmm.
weird how it all came together. And then the fact that I used to audit them, just
Yeah.
just wild. Can't make that up.
No, yeah, it's again full circle. Everything's coming back around. The universe has it assigned for you there. That's awesome. What has been the biggest eye-opening experience since buying this assisted living?
Man, there have been a lot of lessons here. I would say that our biggest lesson that we've learned is to understand who you are marketing to.
Hmm.
And that is not something that we fully understood when we bought it. I mean, you know that saying where entrepreneurs, like the ones who have made it, like are crushing it, the billionaire, high level millionaires, billionaires, they're like, the question they ask is, if you would have known how hard it was going to be, would you have done it? Have you heard that question?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
I think that with this one, I don't know if we would have done it
Really?
just with how many hurdles that we've had and how many, like all you can do is take the facts that you have and then make a plan that logically makes sense and then go try to execute. And, you know, after that, it's kind of out of your control. And the amount of roadblocks that, like, first of all, we didn't realize that we were buying into the most complex niche.
Hmm.
The sellers withheld what our niche even was. And yeah, so I would say I don't know if we would have done it. I mean, I'm so glad that we did because the amount of knowledge that we've gotten in a year.
Yeah.
But I've probably been here 3 months, like a total of 3 to 4 months in a year.
Uh-huh.
I've, been staying in the other house, which has been a lot of time away from my family. Luckily, this one, I brought my family for 3 weeks, which is amazing and actually my dream. So, but overall, I would say, yeah, knowing who you're marketing to
Hmm.
is a huge one. It's different for every niche.
Hmm. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. I mean, and that's good for any business is you've got to know your audience. You've got to know who you're marketing to. How did you come about figuring out who your market was and targeting them specifically?
Yeah, I think that was just by jumping in. I mean, we we knew like for our specific niche, we're in behavioral, and that is more um, caseworkers, guardians,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of times there really isn't a lot of family, and so it's fully based on relationships.
Yeah.
And what's one of the toughest things to build when you don't live in the same state?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You're right.
so that was we built some really great relationships, but that definitely has been just a challenge because, like, for instance, like private pay, you're marketing to their children essentially. Like you can do ads, you give the tours, and you're basically selling to their kids. Like, do the kids see this as a place where their mom will be safe? Well, that's completely, that's not what we're marketing to.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of like, and that's what, we thought assisted living was going into it. So that was a real eye opener.
Right. Yeah. 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 That's what everybody thinks about going into assisted living. Absolutely. That's the common one, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Interesting. What would you have done different knowing what you know now during your due diligence or your negotiations or your onboarding or whatever?
I would say I would factor in more operating costs because, you look at someone's financial statement and actually David, Alfie, and do you know Alfie?
Uh,
He,
I
he's
don't
an
think
owners
so.
club as well.
Okay. Then I'm sure we
Uh,
come across each other. Yeah.
yeah, we're actually teaching the assisted living course,
Okay.
uh, or semester for 4 sub 2 starting in August. And I'm sorry, I forgot
No,
your question.
just what would you have done different, knowing what you know now,
Oh, done
would you have
differently.
done differently during your process?
Oh, the underwriting. Okay. Yeah. So where I
But
was going with
underwriting,
that
due
is,
diligence, onboarding, any of that, like just what kind of things would you look out for or do differently now?
yeah, so the operating cost. That's where I was going with it because we're actually teaching, we're going into more detail about this. But essentially, when you look at financial statements, you're looking at how someone else ran the business.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to look at it how you're going to run the business.
Mm,
So we actually caught, like, one of the reasons that the deal looked so good was because they didn't have any employees.
mm,
And so they were only paying themselves a very minimal salary. So
mm-hmm.
their profit looked amazing.
Yeah.
And we uncovered that in due diligence, and David was able to negotiate the price down like a couple 100,000 because of that
Yeah.
with the wholesaler. But what we didn't factor in is they were cutting costs in a bunch of other areas. So how they were running it is not how we would run it. So I would say that that was something that I didn't even think of. Like, yeah, they're telling me these are their fixed costs. Well, they don't have any software.
Mm,
Maybe they're not running the heat as much as we would run it.
yeah.
There's a lot of deferred maintenance. I mean, we for this home specifically, like we ended up having, a pest control issue that they didn't disclose.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was a lot of things that we came in and changed that increased our fixed expenses. So I would say that that's a huge one, but I don't know how you learn that without doing it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, or you listen to people like you talk about it. I think that's a common thing that I see a lot in deals that are sent to my team, of especially from brokers, right? They want to present the best package possible. And so they're running you on pro forma numbers. They're forgetting to mention that there's, the owner's not taking a salary and they're working 80 hours a week in the business. And, like you said, running a very lean operation, numbers look a little bit better, but unless you're going to take over and run it exactly the same way they are, you've got to take that into consideration when doing your underwriting. So I think that's a great point that you make of know how you're going to run it and either look for those things in the current expenses or add them in your underwriting.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's crucial, and for assisted living, a good staffing operation, a good operation in general, your staffing cost is still 40% of your revenue. So if it's not good, it can be up to 60. So that is your single most, you have to understand the rules of your state and your county and your city. What are the staffing ratios that you're going to need, even based off your niche? Like there's some residents that we have or that we could have that could require one staff for 5 people or 3 people or 2 people, just depending on what the doctor prescribes. And you have to be able to factor that in when you're doing your pro forma.
Mm.
So it is definitely more advanced underwriting and assisted living. A lot of people compare it to co-living, and I'm really trying to end that because it's nothing like co-living.
No.
Yeah.
No. And are you guys doing billing are you self-pay? Are you billing Medicare, Medicaid, private insurance, How are you working that out?
We have so in Michigan specifically, they have Medicaid like every state, but they don't deal directly with insurances. Like in
Hmm.
Arizona specifically, the insurance companies handle the Medicaid.
Okay.
But here, it's actually the Area Agency on Aging, which is a nonprofit. So we bill Medicaid for some residents, and most residents, we actually have 7 veterans, which is awesome.
Hmm.
And they're technically private pay, even though they have their military pensions and benefits.
Okay. I mean, for those, you had no medical background before getting into this, right?
Nope.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for those who don't have a medical background, just learning the billing system for Medicare, Medicaid, you're not using private insurance, but for those who might on an assisted living or anything like that, I mean, it's a whole nother world and how you bill and what you have to have documented to bill and all that kind of stuff. I mean, how's that go? Do you feel like you have your feet on it at this point, or how's that whole
Yeah,
process?
I mean, I think you have to understand your strengths,
Hmm.
and how we have to bill at the moment really isn't that complicated
Mm.
with the way that they have Medicaid set up. But if we end up going a certain route called specialized in Michigan, then I think the billing gets a little more difficult. And at that point, I'm going to, hire someone to do it
That's
because
the way to
that
do it.
that is really important that you have. I mean, one, you need to be on top of it because when you're dealing with the government, a lot of times they delay to pay you, and cash flow keeps businesses alive. So if you are going to have someone do it, then you need to make sure you pick the right person, or
Right.
hire it internally, or have your house manager do it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny. That's a great lesson in and of itself right there because people, business owners especially, will hear that and think, well, I can't afford to bring another employee on. I can't afford to pay somebody else. But if you bring on, in this case, someone, a biller or a coder who knows how to optimize your billing and your coding to get the best billing and to make sure that everything's in place so that it's paid as quickly as possible. I mean, they're paying for themselves at that point by increasing your returns, right?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, that is, you definitely don't want to mess around with the money coming in.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good. If you're buying like the ones that we're looking at to buy in Arizona, they have some billing that they do, billing and coding.
Uh-huh.
And so I know that one of the owners is really good at it. So I might just shadow him and really learn it because
Yeah.
clearly they've been doing it well because they're running a successful business. But it's definitely, we're taught to get out of our business, not
Right.
be the crucial one in it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the mindset that we have. And we're probably not going to buy another one that requires this much of a turnaround. We're going to look for more established ones and continue to expand responsibly that way.
Yeah. How is the turnaround on this one going? Are you guys filling up? Do you feel like you've made some good progress? Are you halfway there, 75%? How's it going for you?
I would say we are 2 months from turning it around.
Okay. All right. All right.
Yeah, I mean, it really has been a lot of ups and downs and learning and really finding the right people that are going to help get us to the next level on the niche that we want to pursue. And we just found a house manager who has 15 years of experience
Hmm.
in the niche that we're pursuing, and we really believe and also this has been like one of the toughest things is you know we when we bought it, we had and we have 4 residents that pay about $1,000 a
Hmm.
month, which, I mean, that's barely enough for co-living.
Hmm.
Uh, and we have, for anyone who doesn't know the ins and outs of assisted living, we have a 24-hour staff. They get 3 meals a day. They get snack. They're taken to their doctor's appointments. And really, our goal was we don't want to have anyone have to leave because they can't afford it. So that was really the first part of the game plan was identifying, okay, well, what programs do they have to help the people that we have?
Yeah.
And so we identified the Medicaid program here. It took a couple months to contract. We started with the people that we have that are eligible in November, and it's still not done.
Mm.
That's how long it takes.
Wow.
So it's supposed to be done. And we had no idea when we bought it that it took that long. I
Mm.
mean, really, even in November, they told us it was a 4 month waiting list, which is like March.
Yeah.
And here we are in June, and it's probably not going to get done until August. So those are some of the unforeseen things that I was talking about, where you can make whatever plan you want and go and execute, but at a certain point, some things are just out of your control, and all you can do is continue to pivot and move forward. So that should kick in a couple months, and then that will be the automatic turnaround. But then with our house manager, um, yeah, I believe that the next 6 months are going to be great.
Yeah, that's awesome. For those who might be interested in assisted living, I mean, a house manager is kind of crucial for that, but it also takes a certain personality, a certain you kind of got to know what you're doing. How did that search go for you? How did you find your house manager? Where should people look?
Yeah, that is a very great question that I wish I had the answer to when we bought it. But I do feel like we have the answer now. And especially if you don't know what you're doing, I wouldn't just go hire on Indeed.
Mm.
I wouldn't just go, oh, we're looking for a house manager. It's all about the relationships. So we actually found our house manager that we just hired through one of the guardians at our home. And the
Hmm.
guardian's great. And we know that she truly cares about the residents. And she's like, I mean, she would die for them, really. It's pretty awesome to see. And so when she recommends someone, that that person is going to have the same sort of fire and care for residents. And so it took a little while to get her because she wasn't ready to make the jump, but
Yeah.
she's been with us for about 3 weeks now, and that's one of the reasons I'm here, is to support her in any way I can.
Yeah, that's awesome. It so often it comes back to who you know, making connections, talking with people. I mean, opening your mouth and telling people what you need in order to find the what's going to fill the emptiness that you've got, the empty position that you've got, or whatever. I mean, if you don't tell people what you need, they can't give you the referral, but you never know who's going to have the answer for you.
Yeah, and this is a quote that I hear people make fun of a lot, but it is so true. Like, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And so when you're going to hire someone in a field that you have no experience in the operations in, like, how am I going to know if they're great or not if I don't know all the terms, if I don't know what they should know?
Right.
I'm just going based off their resume. But if you know people in the community, this is what they do, then they're going to know the great people. You find great people know great people.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. They do. That's true. That's true. Open your mouth, share, right? You never know. Talk to people, let them know what you need. You never know who's going to have the answer for you. So that's good stuff. Um, Last question for you. What's been the best part of jumping in and owning this new asset? Maybe it was a little surprising, you didn't expect it, but what's been kind of the best part for you of jumping into a new niche and taking on this new challenge?
Just to have finally found what I feel like I'm meant to do.
Mm.
I think it's been really rewarding. And then, being able to hyper focus, like, I can't even tell you how much we've learned this past year and how excited we are to continue in this business. And again, the fact that I brought my family, my daughter was in, helping serve dinner the other day.
Hmm.
It's been really rewarding to be able to make an impact and finally, I don't know. Yeah. Like, finally feel like I found my path and I'm going to make a difference and we're going to do great things.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, that's good. Congratulations on the new adventure. I know you guys are currently looking for or looking at a few more assisted livings in Arizona. What specifically are you in need of right now? If people have a deal, what are you looking for?
Yeah, I mean, if you have an assisted living that you want us to take a look at, whether it's the JV with, or you need help finding a buyer if we're not the buyers for you. Because again, I think that there is a responsible way to scale in this, I mean, in any industry, but especially this one. So, there's only going to be a few that we buy a year, but we can definitely help point you in the right direction, or help you with the deal you got going on.
Yeah, awesome. Best way for them to contact you if they've got something for you to look at.
Yeah, all of my handles are at Jared Morrison, REI. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Awesome. So good. Jared, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. Guys, if you've got something that you want him to take a look at, Jared Morrison, REI, we'll put it in the link down below. Get out there, take some action, talk to people, network. You never know who's going to have the answer that you're looking for. You may feel like you're flailing when you're taking action, but you're moving forward, and that's what counts. We'll catch you on the next one.
Thanks again, Dustin.